Right, so when we type in something like this, first of all, you can write 4 cos, right, 4 cos x minus 5 sine x, and you want it in the form r cos x plus alpha. So we put that on this side. So I'm going to expand that out, okay, the additional angle. So I'm going to get cos x cos alpha. So it's going to be in the same kind of form. That in the additional formula becomes a minus, and you get minus sine x sine alpha. Because they are identities, they're identical, all the causes should match up, all the sines should match up. So I'm going to match the causes first. I'm going to get 4 cos x equals r cos x cos alpha. What I'll do then is I'll cancel the causes out, and I'll end up with 4 equals r cos alpha. Likewise, I do the same thing and match up the signs. I got minus 5 sine x equals, and that's r times all that, so that's a minus r sine x sine alpha. Get rid of the negatives, get rid of the sine x, I'll end up with 5 equals r sine alpha. So that's what I was saying before. You get these matched up, and it's just like if I was to produce a right angle triangle, all I've literally done is in this triangle, this is my alpha, my r is here, the opposite side is always called r sine alpha, and this will be called r cos alpha. Okay. Now, the beauty about this is you've been told that this, I'll use a different pen, you've been told that r sine alpha is 5. And you've been told that r cos alpha is 4. If you look at it in the form of a right angle triangle, r is the hypotenuse. I'm just going to prove it to you why it is the case, and then we can go through it. So literally what it tells you that r, if you did it as a hypotenuse, r squared is equal to r squared sine squared. So you square all that side, and that will be r squared cos squared alpha. Okay? And literally what happens here is they will equate, because when you factorize that, sine squared alpha plus cos squared alpha is equal to 1. So you got to the point where r squared equals r squared. Okay? But in this form, you can replace r squared with these values. This value is 5. This value is 4 squared. So you end up with r squared equals 25 plus 16. Add those together, gives me 30, 41. And if I square root that, I'll get r. So we find out what r is, and I've proved it to you where it comes from. Now this one, just the same way, you just do tan. This is opposite, this is adjacent, and you should know this from GCSE. Tan alpha is opposite over adjacent. But furthermore, if I was to prove this to you, all you need to do is just do r sine alpha over r cos alpha. The r's will cancel. That becomes tan alpha, which is the same as 5 over 4. And if I wanted alpha, you just take the tan to the other side by shifting, becomes the inverse. Alpha would equal, and keep it in degrees, tan inverse 5/4. You get 51. I'm just going to do it to one decimal place, 51.3. So now you've got this in this form, which equals, that equals, R is root 41, and cos x plus alpha in this case is 51.3. So you've done that first part. Now it's important that you do the first part in order to help you do the second part. Just give me 1 second. Now, if I put that one side and see how that's going to help me. So when it says find the smallest positive value of x for which that equals 0, you do root 41 cos x plus 51.3, and that's going to equal 0. Divide both sides by root 41, you get cos x plus 51.3. Then take the cos to the other side, keep that as 51 x plus 51.3, and you got cos inverse of 0. And if you do cos inverse of 0, 0 inverse cos, you should get 90. Sorry, no. Yeah, so let me just draw this cos diagram. And don't forget, we can always go back, but that's where 0 is at 90. So you could 51.3, because it wants the smallest positive value. You could start here. I'm going to put all this. You could say that's minus 90. You could say that's 90. And I'm going to use this one too, just in case I need it. So that's going to give me, anybody? 270. Now, once I've done all that, I can then start subtracting 51.3 of each of those angles. Now I want the smallest positive value, that would be negative. So that's out. That angle is bigger than that, so the only angle, the lowest angle is going to be 90 minus 51.3. So you just get your 90 minus 51.3, and you get 38.7, and that is it.